Hi. I'm Lady Shasha, mistress of the snark, connoisseur of the gore, and your hostess with the mostest. So we're going to go right into a bloody disgusting article written by John Squires. The headline reads, Dream Eater, found footage sleepwalking movie from Eli Roth's company heads home next week, which could be this week because this story was published on November 13th. Well, we'll read the article and see when it's coming out. Fresh off the film's limited theatrical release, Eli Roth's new company, The Horror Section, will bring the found footage film Dream Eater to at home digital outlets next week. A terrifying found footage chiller from the Canadian genre trio behind Blind Luck Pictures, Dream Eater will be released at home on November 18th. So it's already released. I'm a little bit late on this one. I apologize. That's okay. You can pre order the film on digital, though. Co-written and co-directed by Jay Drukaluk. No, I think I'm saying it wrong. Let's start over. Co-written and co-directed by Jay Drakulik. I'm so tempted to say Dracula. I'm sure you probably got called that all through school, Jay. I apologize. I will try again. Jay Drakulik. Mallory Drum and Alex Lee Williams. Dream Eater stars William and Drum. The horror section teases, quote, blending raw documentary style realism with escalating tension and scares. Dream Eater delivers an unshakable nightmare that lingers long after the final frame. The story follows Mallory, played by Mallory Drum, a documentary filmmaker who heads to a remote cabin in the mountains with her boyfriend Alex, played by Alex Lee Williams, to document his violent parasomnia. As his condition worsens, Mallory suspects something more sinister may be at play. As the nightmares escalate, so do the scares, right through the final frame. Quote, I vividly remember every movie that truly terrified me. I remember standing on 25th Street in New York City when my friend Kevin Fox handed me a VHS of a film he had produced, which had just gotten into Sundance, called The Blair Witch Project. And that night I had to sleep with the lights on, Roth said in a statement. I remember watching a screener of Paranormal Activity during the filming of Inglourious Bastards in my apartment in Berlin, and I was so freaked out that I had to give it to Quentin to traumatize him as well. And then there was Dream Eater. Watching this movie alone in my house and turning on the lights because it was that scary. It has been so long since I've been truly terrified by a film to such a degree that I had almost forgotten what it felt like. What these three filmmakers have pulled is not just remarkable on a low budget do it yourself filmmaking level. They achieved the holy grail of horror, which is to make a movie that absolutely terrifies you. I was so blown away that I sent the film to everyone at the horror section, and we all agreed that this is the one. I believe Dream Eater will be the scariest film of the year and truly has the potential to break out to be the next paranormal activity or the Blair Witch Project. Oh, we do have a trailer here. Let me scroll down. See, there's the poster for Dream Eater. It says one of the scariest movies of the year. Eli Roth presents Dream Eater. It won't let you sleep. Okay, let me see what's going on in here. Text says Blair Witch Project isn't scary. Well, Tex, I have to ask you what generation you are because I think that makes a difference. I think to anyone millennial or younger, I don't think the Blair Witch Project would scare you because there's been so many derivatives of it that if you go back and watch it now, it wouldn't scare you. But to anyone older, like Gen X and older, found footage was not huge when Blair Witch came out. I think there might have been two found footage movies previous to Blair Witch, and I think that's what made it scary for our generation is because it was kind of a new-ish format. I wouldn't say new because Cannibal Holocaust. Tex says Gen X. You're Gen X and it didn't affect you at all. Interesting. That's very interesting, Tex. I'm surprised. Tony Man says, I told you about Dream Eater. I'll give my honest found footage review to you. And then text says, I knew Roth was fake. How can you be scared of that? Well, everyone is scared of different things. For example, there are some people that are terrified of clowns. I'm not terrified of clowns. I don't think that they're particularly funny, but I'm not terrified of them. But there are people who are legitimately terrified of clowns. Also, there are people that are very disturbed by gore or by slasher movies. That some people find those extremely disturbing. To me, a slasher movie is like a warm blanket. It's like a safety net to me. I love slasher movies. I've never been afraid of a slasher. I'm trying to think. The only slasher that was mildly disturbing to me was a certain character. I don't want to spoil the movie, but there's a certain character in Nightbreed that his scenes of his slashing were, I don't even know why I did air quotes because they actually were slashing scenes, but that there's something really creepy about that character. I don't know if you guys know who I'm talking about in Nightbreed. Because if I tell you who, it's kind of like a spoiler for the movie if you haven't seen it. But yeah, those particular scenes were creepy to me, but in general, slashers don't affect me. But what does affect me are possession horror movies. I'm very creeped out by uh, demonic possession. Some really good ghost stories will creep me out, but I can watch people get chopped up all day. It does nothing to me. But there are people who are the opposite. There are people who can watch ghost stories and demonic possessions and it does nothing to them. They can go right to sleep. But you show a decapitation and they'll be messed up for the week. So it's a kind of a very individual thing. Tony says, I agree with Tex, to be honest. The movie as a whole didn't scare me either. You and Tex just are not afraid of the Blair Witch. Okay. I will take you guys' word for it. Tony says, just the ending was impressive. CJ says, most clowns aren't scary. I have a really deep irrational fear of sea creatures. I don't think that's irrational because I think like an octopus could really mess you up. Sharks too. Like, I don't think that's irrational. PJ says, kid me used to be afraid of clowns, but not anymore. I love killer clowns from outer space. Tex says, come on, our Jen's seen The Thing, Freddy, Jason, Hellraiser, Magic, Halloween, even Gremlins and Critters. It's hard to be scared of Blair Witch. I think what scared me about Blair Witch is what you don't see. And I think I let my own imagination fill in the blanks. And that's what's scary. Also, the woods at night are kind of creepy to me. Tony Man says, I grew up around someone who dressed as a clown all the time, my grandfather. Yeah, you've told me, and you showed me a picture. CJ says, I almost dropped some character names from Nightbreed. Oops. Oh, it's no problem. I just didn't want to spoil the experience for anyone who hasn't seen Nightbreed, which I highly recommend. And if you have access to seeing the director's cut, that's the one to go with. Go with the director's cut of Nightbreed. I mean, it's one of the best. It's Clive Barker. It's amazing. Here we go. All right, let's check out this trailer for Dream Eater and see what Eli Roth is on about.
The doctor said some time away might be good for you. We're supposed to record any sleepwalking and what you remember from each episode.
Front door open.
Alex?
Yeah, that was...
Go back to bed.
While people do sleepwalk,
That was underwhelming.
rarely do they lash out violently.
He's here. He's here.
There are other people seeing this thing in their dreams night after night.
You need to get out of that house. That wasn't Alex.
Alex, this isn't you.
I didn't get much out of that trailer. I mean, what do you guys think? It's giving kind of Paranormal Activity again, and there is a found footage possession movie that this reminds me of, but I think it's might be better. Is it called The Possession of Michael something? Hold on, let me see if I could look it up. Michael King. Yeah, The Possession of Michael King. I think that's a better found footage movie with a similar storyline to this. I would definitely check out The Possession of Michael King. This could be a case of just not a great trailer, but a good movie, because I've seen that before. Recently, actually, I've seen a movie that the trailer I didn't really care for, but the movie was way better than the trailer. So maybe it's one of those situations. But as it stands, that doesn't. I mean, I feel like Eli Roth is putting 20 on 10.